Love to get going here in a minute.
Recording in progress.
All right. We'll get going. We got, did it again. Why can't I turn it? All right, well, I can't turn my volume down, so I'll just shut my Zoom off there. Okay, good. All right, this is the June 23rd meeting of the ISWM Building Committee. Zoom chat will not be monitored. Participants who wish to speak must raise their hand icon until the chair asks them to unmute. If anyone is audio or visual recording, please acknowledge at this time. Let the record note Michael Roush is audio recording. I will do a quick attendance. Greg, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tom?
Yes.
Catherine is not here. Nolan, you out there?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Peter? Let's see, Peter. And I am here. All right, first order of business, minutes of May 20th. Any comments or corrections on the minutes of May 20th? None. I had just one correction, 22,000 kV should be 22 kV. Other than that, I had a motion to approve the minutes as amended or corrected.
So moved.
I'll second. Greg? There's Greg. You approve the minutes? You good with
Yeah,
the minutes? Tom?
I was not there, so I can.
Oh, you're abstaining, that's right. Catherine's not here. Nolan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Peter's not here, and I approve the minutes as well. All right, next order of business. Office and maintenance garage. Taylor?
So things I'll let Michael jump in too on this, but right now the site's been mobilized in terms of fence, trailers, and getting everything ready to get going. They're waiting on the building permit at this point. I believe everybody's signed off except for fire. Right now, fire just wants to confirm access and routing for apparatus. So we just have to show them a plan that shows that circulation pattern, which is pretty simply done. So that's the last box that we need to check for the permit, and the contractor's ready to go. They've been firing off submittals, getting products in. Their rebar is showing up, anchor bolts are showing up. So hopefully, as long as they can get final fire sign off, this week, next week they actually want to start excavating for foundations and starting that process. So anything to add on that, Jeff?
No, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
The brick samples are in.
power to the trailers now. We're actually using ISWM's generator, so that they've been nice enough to let us use until we figure out the temporary power on site, which has its own complications because of how the routing is going to come on site. But other than that, we can work with a generator at this point and keep moving. So really a lot of mobilization process up to this point. So that's been good. Ready to go. On HKA's end, anything to add as far as design-wise?
No, I think we're good with everything. I know John is working on getting those plans and details out, and I was hoping to get those sometime this week. But I know there's some, vacations and stuff, so we are working on that, and we should have that out.
And I know the submittal process has gone well. It seems like everything that they've put in thus far has been getting answered. So I think HKA's team has been doing a good job responding to submittals so that Page can place their orders. So.
We had, just to kind of update the committee members, we had a little bit of a setback with the septic system. The septic system that we spec'd, even though it was an IA best available nitrogen reducing technology, that particular model was not approved for non-residential use. So we have to kind of go back to the list of 3 septic, approved technologies and pick one of the other ones. So not really a big deal. We're just going to go back. It's a matter of swapping out a proprietary tank, but we only have a short list of these things to choose from. So it's not that big of a deal, but we just know that we are working on that.
Asa?
Yes, shoot.
Excuse me. I just wanted to mention that I had that conversation at the last meeting with Peter Glick. Peter Glick has reached out to the manufacturers, followed up with the Board of Health. Those drawings should be coming out this week as well.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, sounds good. He's talked to somebody over at the health department or Board of Health?
Yes, he did coordinate with them.
Okay, all right, great. One thing I kind of wanted to just take a quick step back, and we talked about colors last year. And I just wanted to make sure, I had sent the color board back out to everybody. I didn't see a vote on it. I think we were kind of amongst changing OPMs and things at that point. I wanted to make sure everybody was kind of all right, and I wanted to get a vote on the color board and see how we wanted to manage colors going forward as these things come about in the construction process. So does anybody have any questions or comments on the color board that Greg has given us here?
Hold on. I think the exterior colors are in line with what we expected. And I agree, I don't think we ever officially voted that we were going to revisit this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for the interiors, I think it would be helpful to see some of the actual products, especially the flooring. I think the carpets and the Gorilla flooring.
Okay.
I'd like to kind of see those real samples.
Greg, did you hear that? You're muted.
You muted, Greg.
I'm sorry, Greg, could you repeat which samples you want to see? You want to see the
I think
again?
the flooring. I think the
Okay.
flooring, and just not the. I think the epoxy. I mean, it's kind of that's the one that's the same one that's in Whitman, right?
That's correct.
So I think we were all good with that.
Yeah.
The ones that were there, but I like to see just the carpets and the Gorilla flooring. I think the laminates, in my opinion, I like the laminates. The toilet petitions, you could being all the same. Men's and women's being the same colors.
Yeah. I think they are, right? They are. Men and women's bathrooms are same color?
That's the intent.
Yeah,
We find
yeah.
that blue or the green usually looks the nicest, but we just happened to pick blue on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, we typically don't mix and match them. The same thing will be the lockers will match the blue, so that both men's and women's locker rooms look essentially the same.
Okay, all All right, I guess, I think what I'd like to do is just get a vote on the color board at this point. Probably makes sense. Anybody want to make a
So
motion?
maybe make a motion to approve the exterior colors?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, motion to
Second.
approve the exterior colors. Unless Ken or Nolan, do you guys have any questions on the colors?
But I agree that I'd like to see a sample of the, especially the epoxy floor.
Okay,
But otherwise, I think it was good.
okay,
Yeah, likewise, no questions.
all right. So flooring, Greg, flooring samples at the next meeting, is that possible?
Yeah, I can mail those down to you,
Okay.
Asa, so you can get them sooner than later.
That'd be great, that'd be great. All right, I guess we'll look for a motion to approve the exterior colors as presented on the color board.
Second?
I made the motion, Greg seconded. Greg,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Nolan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
We built a house.
and Peter, you're not here, okay. And I vote yes.
Do it every day.
Asa, may I make a request?
Sure.
And I appreciate that you guys want to see the samples, and I have no problems with that. I know that the samples will probably start coming in from the submittals. I don't know if there's necessarily a product question that you may have, or it's just to confirm the colors. I don't know if it's, you could pass a thing to say that the colors are tentatively approved, subject to final approval of the carpet or floor, or whatever particular item. I just want to make sure that if the samples come in, and Mike, you may be able to chime in, have we started to receive any of those finishes yet that we need to start taking action on?
The only one was, excuse me, was the epoxy floor, and they submitted on an equal product, and I had asked them for additional color samples for final selection, so.
Okay, so they're not using Duraflex then?
They're not using, no, they're not using the Duraflex, so we haven't even selected we've approved the product, but we haven't selected the final color, so no interior colors have been
So that,
submitted.
so does that mean some of these flooring products might change as well? Because these aren't based upon submittals? These are based upon your selections, right?
Correct.
They're based upon our selections and what we put as the basis of design in the specs. And they could, alternate depending on, what they submit. Usually on the carpets, they submit what we specify, so that we'll probably get the Milliken. And my guess is we'll probably get the Gorilla flooring. But I just can't say for sure yet.
Can we get those color samples by next meeting in a month, you think? We'll just get could we request all the flooring samples that they plan on using, or do you think that they not know exactly yet?
We can ask them, and what we can also ask them is to just say, we're not gonna make a final color selection. Say they submit an alternate one, we could just ask them for the samples for your approval first, prior to those, approving them as a submittal.
So Asa, with these, little nuances, I will withdraw my request. Those colors down to you.
Okay.
And because I know that last time I spoke with Paige, they were going to basically submit everything we had asked for initially. What Mike is just telling me is they just swapped out the flooring. It's
Yeah.
probably very close. It's just, I don't want to say, yes, we'll send you the Duraflex sample down, and then it comes in as another brand that's slightly off. So let me just compile those samples and get those down to you for the next meeting.
Okay, that
So,
sounds,
one other thing too, I just noticed the FRP doors. I don't remember seeing those in Whitman.
They did have, not the main entrances, but they would have been the doors.
It was at the,
garage
I don't remember
doors.
seeing gray doors.
Yeah, it would have been like a pebbled finish on the doors leading the
You probably want to
garages.
see that, I think, because you guys are gonna
yeah,
deal with those every day.
yep. Did you get that, sample of that as well?
Yeah, I know usually those samples are relatively small, they're only like 2 inches by 3 inches.
Yeah.
But they'll give you the finish and the color and everything, so we'll be happy to send that down. I just want to give you a heads up, it's not, we can see if we can order a bigger sample, but I've always seen them as a small, just little chip sample.
Yeah.
Are you good with that, Greg?
Yeah, that's plenty. I just want them to see it, because I've had people, I've spec'd these doors before and had complaints, so I
Oh,
want to
okay,
make
really?
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know I was getting that.
Yeah, okay. All right. What was the primary complaint, was just the texture and color?
No, they
or was
expected
it-
a wood door, and they
Oh,
got a
yeah.
laminate door.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
So just to be clear on what Greg is saying is, it's an aluminum frame with a foam core with the FRP panels and a vision panel for light or something. They're very heavy duty, rugged and everything, but I could see what Greg's saying, that if you're expecting a wood door, you're gonna be disappointed, because it's going to be aluminum and fiberglass. But they are durable commercial doors. They're not like, cheap chintzy doors. We usually put them in the DPWs or, places that are pretty rugged. The nice thing about it is they don't corrode, rust, or basically anything happens to them. Obviously, if you take a hammer to them or something, you can break the finish on the FRP panel, but I don't think that's what you're going to be trying to do. So we have found that they're pretty durable doors, and that's why we usually spec them.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, what's your thought on that in general?
I use them for the same reason. They're heavy duty.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
The one thing I don't like about them, even when we have used them and they get damaged, they're hard to repair. Or a wood door or a metal door.
Basically
you
getting a new door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal door, you can bond to it. Wood door, you can putty it, sand it, paint, so.
Where do we have, or is that within the entirety of the building, or is that just
No,
in the
it's
office?
only at the exterior personnel doors.
Okay,
The
okay.
interior will have wood doors and stuff, but the exterior, because usually what we find with the steel doors is steel doors will rust
Yep.
in that environment. We would never put a wood door on the exterior because that's a maintenance issue.
Yep.
But the interior will have wood doors. So this is
Well-
strictly for the exterior personnel doors, and minus the front doors, which will be storefront.
We'll need to pick a wood door color then.
Yeah, I'm a little confused because it says right underneath that exterior doors match flock Merlin gray. So I assumed you were doing, what are those?
So that was simply a color, we're gonna select colors that match, based on the block Merlin gray for the roof. That's all that was. But that was, for the storefront doors,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Not the FRP.
And so then when we get samples for the interior doors, we would just need to confirm those as well.
Yes, and I don't have the color board in front of me, but I think those are just a white oak, Mike, isn't it? With a,
Yeah, actually, that color board, unfortunately, it said wood suspended ceilings. That should be the wood interior doors. So the plain slice door that's on that color board, that's intended for the wood doors inside the building.
I mean, that would make sense. I don't think we have suspended ceilings that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe
We
we
did
did that in the
that,
lobby.
sorry.
Dave's office looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was meant to be the wood. So the interior wood doors are the plain slice.
Okay,
door.
that makes sense now.
All right.
Sorry about that.
All right. Any other comments on colors? I think we got some direction there. We're all good? All right. So Steve Gavazza is here with us today. Steve is the facilities director. Greg, I hear that you have worked with Steve before at Hydroid? Hydroid.
This Greg.
He had
This Greg here.
oh, this Greg. Oh, okay. I thought it was a Greg Yanchenko. Too many Gregs. Sorry. Steve had a couple comments. One was, he looked over the drawings, and I don't know, Steve, you're more than welcome to hop up here. Or I can, kind of just go over a couple things, but just accessibility to maintenance items is probably what I got more than anything out of our
Yeah, pretty much.
conversation. But kind of.
Yeah, I think between the we have the same issue with the police station with the boilers being on the not on really on the exterior wall and running the pipes up to the roof. That's where we've had major problems at the police station when we pretty much have to rip out the whole system and that's only a 5-year-old building, so we were worried about that, especially with the condensate boilers. So we worried about drains coming down through the first floor. So, you know, we've had a lot of issues with that, with the police station and other buildings in town. So that's really an issue. The air handling unit being on the second floor too is for maintenance. It looks like it's going to be kind of tough to change filters and that kind of stuff. I do like the having the exterior part of the where you're going to have the HVAC system, the VRS and the actual split units. That seems like a pretty good. But what we're worried about how that's going to be filtered from the sand. From the, I know the drawings. I don't have them in front of me, but I know they had like a filter system for that, so we weren't sure how that's going to be changeable. And then also on the system for the exchange air, the recovery system was why they put a big louvers on the front of the building, and it only requires a small. I don't know why they didn't put portholes for the 2 units. It's kind of strange how they could just insulate the center section of that louver system, which was kind of strange. And then also there's no like changing area in front of the showers. Now we've had plenty of issues with the DPW here, where you need some, you know, just we had to put actually cubicles in front of the showers. We have it in our men's room, but the women's room have it, but the men's room doesn't have it. So that was kind of a problem with a lot of people where we are, you know, not having a changing room, just walking out right in, you know, the middle of the bathroom. So that, I think that was pretty much everything, right?
So,
we had some
yeah,
electrical
that's
issues.
like most of it. And I think we've looked at like a lot of this stuff, and all, the accessibility issue, it's not an issue. The accessibility of all this stuff is all pretty good. I'm looking at Greg and Mike, you know.
Yeah, we laid out all of the access to the units inside the building so that we have proper access to change out filters and everything. I know we took that into consideration. You'll see it on some of the sections and maybe the floor plans where you can see where the panels open up to change out any of the filters.
Mike, do you even remember which drawing? You're talking the architectural and the mechanical. I can pull that up.
Maybe the architectural, if you give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have the actual drawing number, right?
Yeah, I don't have them.
Oh, you didn't
I'll
bring
let
it in,
those
sorry.
guys pull them up.
That's something too that, especially mechanical rooms, before anything goes in there, we like to get all the trades in there, and you can be part of that as well. Or we actually just spray paint on the floor. That's where, you know, the water heat is going. That's where the boilers are going, and condensers, and walk through it before things actually start going in too. So we'll be coordinating that stuff as it goes in.
I think we're all hypersensitive to that now with what's going on in some of the other buildings, and you know, gaining access to some of these things. So any little bit extra time we can spend just trying to sort some of that.
Absolutely.
would be great.
Yeah, and contractors, they don't have it. That police station, we can't get any contractors to work there because you got to go in and be escorted. And
Yeah.
So it's been a real issue. That's why we want all mechanical rooms, you know, access from the outside.
From the outside, yep.
Yeah, like we did in the sewer plant. So it's a real big issue with municipal buildings and government buildings, so in general.
All right.
So sorry I came late in the program here. So
Oh, that's all right. I mean, it doesn't.
Did you find it, Mike? I have the.
I do.
Okay, great.
Better late than never.
I don't know if you've seen the drawing.
Are you seeing it, Ace? I'm seeing it.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
We can see it.
Okay, so if you look, like when we laid out this unit here, you'll see these dotted lines. These are all the critical cleared floor spaces that are needed to get maintenance to this unit. So we placed the unit within the room so that you could have the proper maintenance. And then I know in the section, you'll see where the ductwork, there's ductwork that comes in low and high on both of these sides. And so you'll see we've laid it out so that you have, you know, full access around this unit.
yeah, I think the biggest issue is bringing them up, getting the filters up there and everything. So that's many issues with most of our buildings. But I mean, you have the double door, so they should be able to get it through the door. It's just a matter of...
Yeah, we definitely provided that. We also provided that so that even if this unit had to be removed, it could be turned in the room and brought out through the double doors.
Yes.
Or they can use a single person that
Yeah.
And
so
then
they
the other
would
thing,
have
too,
to-
Steve, is if Mike zooms out a little, and I'm not sure it shows on this plan, but we also have stairs to all of this. So you're not going to be climbing any ladders or anything else like that, and this is a comfortable 11 and 7 tread to riser ratio and everything. So there should be plenty wide enough for you to easily access that and carry stuff up. If for some reason you had to put something super heavy up that you couldn't carry it, there's a bridge crane there. I don't think you'll need that for the filters, but it is always an option if you
Yes,
need
yeah.
that.
Which we use in a lot of our buildings, we do use the crane to bring up stuff in our DPW and other buildings, but I do like the stairs, I mean, compared to ladders like we have in other buildings. So I do like that compared to this building has a ladder to bring up filters to the roof, and, yeah, so the stairs are a better option, so I do like that. And there is space up there, so, to move around.
And there's also a section of the guardrail at the edge of the mezzanine that is removable, so even if you wanted to lift things up with a forklift, you have that accessibility as well.
And then you can see where the bridge crane basically covers that entire mezzanine. You can see where it's grayed in to the left there.
Yes, yeah.
But then you basically can pick anything up that you need to, or if you had to remove that piece of equipment, you could just roll it out of that room, put it on the bridge crane, and then lower it down. And then Mike, I think there's is that the whole mezzanine, or is there a little mezzanine onto the bottom of this plan?
There's more. This is the other mechanical room over here, where the hatch is. Well, there's two, actually.
I know we commented on the cold part into the,
Oh yeah, one of those rooms is a cold room, right? The one on the right?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
one
one on
with
the
the
right
HVAC.
is- That needs to be, for the VRF systems to work correctly.
Gotcha.
So it'll be insulated on the inside of this room, to create sort of a cold
Alright.
storage area that, and protect the rest of the building from getting cold.
Gotcha. All right, what do you think about if we just get a little changing station out in front of that one shower unit? One shower?
Mike, can you pull out the locker room,
think
or do
there's
you want
two
me
or
to pull
three.
that out?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be big. Most of them would have a shower curtain on the shower, and then a shower curtain on the actual changing area. It only has to be 3 feet, 4 feet.
So right now, the intent is, as you can see, they're relatively large shower areas, 5 by 4 by 5. And we've used this successfully before. You put your towel or whatever at the far end, and if you need to. Again, we can look at putting rooms there. I just don't know exactly where you would want that room, to change in there. And do you need it for both showers or just for the one? Because obviously the one's the accessible one. The other one closest to the bottom of the page is just a regular shower stall.
Yeah, and they'll be tubbed. The whole square will be tubbed on both of them.
We'll have ceramic tile all around, and what they also have is what we call turtle mats on there.
All right,
So
yeah.
this will have an epoxy floor with a recessed slab. Then the turtle mats are about an inch thick. They go down there that way. The reason we put that in is primarily for the handicap, so that the water is always a positive lip and it will not drain and run over into the rest of the space. But we tend to, because Mike, did we put the depressed slab in this one too, on both of them?
Yeah, we have the depressed slabs at all the
So I can see if I can pull up a quick image of that, if that's helpful. But it makes it for easy cleaning and everything, and
Yeah, I think the issue is that whole area will be wet, so you don't want to have clothing in there or anything to change. So if it drops on the floor, you put it on a hanger, it drops on the floor, it's wet.
yeah, what I'm saying, let me just pull that up quickly and show you what the turtle mat, the floor should never be wet.
All right.
So let me just give me 1 second, I will pull that up.
And that's on both sides. I've seen it on the handicap side, but I've never seen it on a regular shower.
Yeah, we just find it convenient and it seems to work well and everybody seems to be happy with it that way, so,
I have it right.
did you have the image?
I have,
Yeah, I was pulling it, you and I were both pulling it up.
yeah, I have it right.
Yeah, if you can zoom in there.
Are you seeing it?
Yes, yeah,
I am, so if you just enlarge it, please, a little, yeah.
yeah, I see it.
So basically, you can roll right off and it's flush there, but there's a positive lip. And so essentially, floor should never be wet.
All right.
Gee, I think I remember seeing that at Whitman. Did we see that? Is it Whitman like that?
Now, yeah, we do all our showers like this now, just because we used to have problems with water going on. I'm sure Greg's familiar with the handicap stalls and
Yeah.
water and stuff goes on. And so we just use it, wherever we have showers.
Yeah, I've seen it in the handicap plenty of times, but.
Good. We'll give it a shot. See how it goes.
Yeah, I use
I
it.
mean,
Not many people use it, yeah.
I don't know how much. Yeah, I really don't know how much we're going to use it. To be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah, I know the DPW one gets used a lot, so.
Do they use it a lot? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's tubbed and it's a problem.
All right. I mean, I'm kind of fine with it the way it is. I don't really have too much problem with it either way. But like I said, I'm not entirely too much sure how it's going to.
And you guys put normal heads in the handicap ones, right, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have
So
both the,
that helps a lot, because the handicap one, the
Makes
head
it wet, yeah.
goes towards
Shoots
the
out,
shower
yeah.
curtain.
Oh yeah.
So for
Yeah, so
non-handicapped people, you're in there and you don't use the wand, it's hitting the curtain.
Oh, I got you.
Having the way they did it is both, which is the right way.
Yeah, because they put it in the back.
All right. All right. I guess we'll go as is for now and go from there.
And then I think you saw on that image too with the lockers and everything, so Steve, that should be easy to maintain and things like that. I know you're not too concerned about, changing filters in a locker or anything, but you'll notice that we had that on the curb and that way, shoes and stuff go right in the drawer underneath, the bench is right there,
Mhm.
and it's easy to just mop and clean. We turn up the epoxy base all over the entire area so that it's all very easy to mop down and clean.
Yeah, it's good that it's not, the police station is carpet there, so it's kind of a stupid. They put carpet in front of the lockers.
Mhm.
So it's like always smelling like mildew. So it's good that it's actual flooring system.
And that's essentially the color of your lockers that we picked, with this royal blue.
Say that again, Greg.
This is basically the color of the toilet partitions in the lockers that we put in the restroom. So if you walk in this one, you walk into the women's room, the only way you know the difference between them is one has a urinal and the other one doesn't.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. All right. Anything else on the office and maintenance garage? Taylor?
Maybe just one last thing is that we are going to be looking at the detail for the bird wire a little bit more closely.
Yep.
So that detail may change. Greg and Mike are working on that. So right now we just have a lot of penetrations in the roof. We're trying to simplify it and get less penetrations. So we're going to be working on that in a couple weeks. So that's something forthcoming.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That was something we were at ISWM. We were having a little bit of heartburn with was all the roof penetrations for the bird wire, and it just we had worked so hard to keep the roof line simple, and so we're going to take a second look at that, and yeah, thank you for reminding me of that.
Greg, if I may ask you a question, have you used many stainless steel roofs, and have you been, not stainless steel, standing seam roofs? And the question for you is, we feel very comfortable clamping on to the seams only because they're reinforced, they've got double metal hanging over the top, and it's make sure that there's no penetrations through the roof. Because that's one of the items that we're exploring, and we had discussions before that we can clamp off a lot of these items on the standing seams. And then what we do is we put like a bar against the building so that it would be mounted into the wall and not a ceiling penetration. And then stretch the wire between the post coming off the standing seam and against the bar against the building. Have you had any experience, any concerns, not dealt with it at all? I just wanted to get
We
your
use
feedback
the
on it.
standing seam, and the only thing I can think of is a lot of times the snow rakes clip to them.
Yes.
Mike had brought that up before too, I think.
Yeah, so I've never had an issue with that.
And we've also done with the, we've also done the systems that clamp on for the safety guidelines. So people have to tie off to get to, maintain equipment on the roofs. They have the systems that clamp on for those as well.
Yeah, looking at it, it looked like I was just kind of doing a little bit of research on it, and looks like there's a lot of different options for that sort of anchoring. Like big plates where it's anchored at 4 different locations that hold, look like railings and stuff like that, like you're saying. So.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
we definitely
We have,
don't want that.
Yeah.
yeah.
We were
have a
concerned
system-
about just the strength of it hanging, stringing stuff together and constantly having that tension on it, But I think, given the sensitivity to,
Is that
to
the-
roofs,
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys have someone looking at that, but is that the best technology today? They don't have anything else that's,
it is absolutely the best. We have tried every bird technology out there. I promise. Maybe not everyone. Maybe I shouldn't make that comment, but we've tried a lot of them. Different misting systems, sound systems, birds of prey calls, and short of having a falconer there all the time, it's just shooting them with our bird depredation permit and taking care of them that way, which we don't often do, is really the most effective. But so anyhow.
Well, anyways, thank you, Greg, for responding to that, because I just wanted to make sure that they heard it from you as well, that mounting on the seams is a reasonable option, because again, I know you can do the fall protection that Mike had mentioned on it, which can take a fairly high impact. So that's why we're less concerned about the the seagulls
Yeah.
impacting the bird wiring, because if it supports fall protection for a human being, which has to do like a 300 pound point load and everything, and then you have some big seagulls out there, but I don't think they hit 300 pounds yet.
You'd be surprised.
well,
No, like I said, I think we're coming
how tall are the stanchions?
3 feet.
Yeah, so that's a little different force, I mean, if you got something clamped on and you're pulling it versus a lever, it's
Yeah,
just a whole
yeah.
different force, so I think it's worth looking at them.
Yeah.
And how are the, how often are they? How far apart are they?
What do we have them? 50 feet, Mike?
Yeah, we had it approximately that, but again, we could even reduce that spacing because, the standing seams are 18 inches apart. So if we needed them at every 30 feet, we could do that. If you give me a second, I can share. I think this is kind of what you're talking about, Asa. But, it's basically a flat plate.
Yeah.
They have these clamps at the 4 corners. So at the 4 corners, there's going to be a clamp. And so imagine a standing seam there and there, that then you're going to have 4 attachment points. And then again, these, whether they're spaced 50 feet apart, maybe they need to be 30 feet apart. The point is, now the difference is going to be, instead of having this cable here that's strung across, what there's going to be is there's going to be a base here, that then an 1.5-inch diameter post can be installed. And then your bird wire is going to be attached, up higher. So that's essentially that's what we're examining.
We might be able to shorten them a little bit too, which would help.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may not be the 3 feet that was originally planned, it could be a little bit less.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want everybody to know we're kind of working on that. That's kind of a big one too. So. All All right,
Wasn't there a detail at one point where they came out the side and went up?
we had talked about that, but then we moved away from it just
that.
because of this coming, because the eaves are so big.
deep.
Yeah, so. But, all right. You have anything else for the office and maintenance garage? Tom, you got anything? Ken, anything else on the office and maintenance garage?
No, I'm good.
Nolan?
I am good, thanks.
All right. All right, on to the transfer station. What do we, hey, Ken, what do you have, how much time do you have left, Ken?
About 2 minutes, Cesar. Sorry.
All right, do we have time to want to run through all invoices real quick?
Yeah, if you want to get those.
If we might not have enough time for. Let's try it. Try to get through it. We'll go to the Weston and Sampson one first. Or do you want to do yours first?
I'll start with Weston and Sampson just because I was on it. But so Weston and Sampson has an invoice project, invoice number 260609993, in the amount of $136,666.79, and that is for billing out basically the remainder of schematic design, which they completed.
And then a little bit in architectural programming. Looks
Yeah,
like.
that was left over from previously completed work.
Okay. All right. All right. Do I get a motion to approve Weston and Sampson invoice 260609993 in the amount of $136,666.79, which covers schematic design and what was left in architectural programming?
I'll move that.
Second. Greg made the motion. Tom second. I'm already screwing this up. 1, 2. Greg?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Nolan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, next one.
All right, next one is for the office and maintenance garage project. Pomeroy Associates, invoice number is 25.124.1-06 in the amount of $23,521.60, and that is for a small portion, 6% of the construction duration, so that covers basically mobilization being on site up to this point, and of course project management.
All right, any questions on that? All right, can you get a motion to approve invoice number 25.124.1-06 for Pomeroy Associates for the office and maintenance garage?
I'll make that motion.
Greg made the motion, I'll second. Greg?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Nolan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right.
And last invoice is for Pomeroy Associates as well. This is for the transfer station project. Invoice number 25.124.2-06 in the amount of $8,010 for work completed for a small portion of design development, which we just moved into for transfer station.
Any questions on that one? Sounds pretty straightforward. Motion to approve invoice 25.120.124.2-06 from Pomeroy Associates for the transfer station project OPM services.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Greg?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Nolan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ken.
Okay, see you guys.
Good luck. All right, just want to get those out of the way. Transfer station, I think we're up to.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick recap, and then Kevin, I think, is on from Weston and Sampson that can jump in as well. But So schematic design was completed. That package was sent around. I think tonight would be a good idea to just take a formal vote to approving schematic design and letting the contractor move into design development. They've already moved kind of into design development anyway, but I think we should at least formally approve that. Schedule-wise, they are right on schedule that they gave us from the beginning of the project, and really they'll be starting design development. Design development just started. Construction documents would be October, December, and then we'd be looking to bid this somewhere around the end of the year, December, January. So in that time frame. So we're still working in that time frame for schedule. Kevin, you want to add anything?
No, thank you, Taylor. No, I think that covers the schedule portion. That aligns with what I was going to
sorry.
update the team on. No, we're in alignment. That's good.
You want to just give a little update on design development, what you're working on now specifically, or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so we're well on our way getting into the details. I think we talked at our last bi-weekly call that we started meeting with the bird deterrent system vendor, Flynn, to work out those details, and was listening into that conversation during this meeting, and I think we should try to align the intent for both because we have a standing seam metal roof on the transfer station as well. So I think it makes sense to just stay in communication about how the office and maintenance garage project is developing in that way. But yeah, we're working on all of the other details, adding sheets and information to the drawings. And, I think the other piece of the schedule is I think we're tracking for a 60% DD package in early August as an interim drawing set submission, in conjunction with the EP approval. And the other part of the schedule is the salt shed. So I think right around now, we should be receiving shop drawings from Iron Horse. I haven't seen those come through yet, so I wasn't sure if you have heard anything, Asa, on that, but no, nothing from your end.
Nope, we haven't seen anything yet from them.
Okay. I think on June 10th, I think we got an update that we would see shop drawings in a couple weeks. So that's we're right at that schedule that they were saying. So I can reach out to them on your behalf, if that makes sense.
That would be great. I'd appreciate that.
Okay, can do that. So the other thing that we're working on is this HVAC system cost payback analysis. There was some correspondence today trying to get the utility bills from either Bourne or ISWM to understand the electricity rate so that we can apply that to our analysis. And I think Mariel from the town responded, and it looks like she didn't have that information to give to us. So is there?
Who responded?
Mariel Marchand.
I don't know. No,
She's with Cape Light.
Oh no.
Oh, she's with Cape Light, not Bourne.
Yeah, no. I had sent that over to Paula in our office, and she'll follow up with that. Probably, I'm guessing tomorrow you'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We can definitely get you information.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. I did see that. I apologize. So I was going down a couple different avenues to try to get that information.
Okay.
So I went to Tatiana to try to get that information from Cape Light. So once we track that information down from the town, then we can incorporate that into our analysis and probably get that to you by the end of this week. The intent for that would be to select either the cabinet unit heaters, which would be an electric resistance heat source, versus the heat pump system. So we want to nail that down so that we can incorporate that into the into our DD documents and progress in that way.
Okay. Hey, would you be able to, I think maybe our annex layout had changed a little bit since the last time we had a building committee meeting. I'm not 100% sure, but would you be able to pull those up and just run through them real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I think we may have tightened it up a little bit, gotten rid of a bathroom, right? We realized we could have had we didn't need that second bathroom up there. Unisex was fine.
Yes, yeah. Let me just clean this up and we'll share. Can you see this plan?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the support annex was a little bit longer. We've tightened it up so that, as Asa, you were mentioning, we just have one unisex restroom at the center of the support annex, and that is off of the safety shower and eye wash alcove here. And that safety shower is accessed by coming from the tipping floor through a set of through a pair of double doors. And into this, what we're calling now a dust lock. So it's sort of a vestibule between the tipping floor and the conditioned space and the mechanical spaces that we want to keep dust free. So then the other spaces in the support annex are the utility room. We're consolidating, plumbing and mechanical systems into one room. And then electrical and tel data have their own room with the emergency electrical room. And then lastly, we have a PPE storage room with the option for some metal lockers for staff that are working in that building. And that could be a point of conversation if we even need those. But yeah, so PPE storage, and additional shelving or lockers as needed.
Greg, is that what you remember last time, or is that tightened up since the last time you saw it?
No, that tightened up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we shrunk it down a little bit, so.
I don't have, we need to add a dimension to this drawing, but I believe it's about 75 feet long.
Yeah, I like that better than the layout. I like the way we use, like that safety shower area is sort of, a pass through, and the airlock. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I think it was 74 and now it's 64 feet
Okay.
long.
Yeah, great. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
If there are no other questions with that, I'll stop sharing.
Yep. Yeah, so salt shed we're still working on. Permitting update, I guess we are just, as of a few hours ago, we finalized our traffic analysis plan back to DEP. That'll go in this week. Everybody's making the appropriate numbers of copies and distributing them. So the site is, and that's part of the site assignment process. So the site assignment process is still rolling on. Hopefully, late this fall, we'll have a site assignment in hand, and Dan, are you out there? You want to add anything? Might not be out there.
It looks like there's a hand up, but
I think
I don't know if that's your mouse or.
I think it's the mouse. Maybe. Anyhow, yeah. So permitting's ongoing. And that's going to be the critical path through this whole project is the permitting. It's a long process. The site assignment process is long, and then as we get into our ATC which is our authorization to construct, and then our ATO, the ATC I believe is 164-day minimum review period. So that really puts the squeeze on us a little bit time-wise. So that's about all I have for permitting at this point. What else? Anything else on the transfer station?
We did get. Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
You can jump in, Taylor. I'll ask my question after.
I was just going to say we got a schematic design estimate in.
Jeez, yeah, that little thing.
Yeah, they're still combing through it a little bit, so then we can circulate it. But The building is in the neighborhood of 15 million at this point, but we're still going through it. But really, the biggest estimate will be in design development. So.
I think maybe at the next meeting, I probably should have distributed it at this meeting, but next meeting we can.
Well, I think there was some tweaks that Lee was going to make, so
Okay.
with him being out, I didn't want to send it out without
All right.
let's confirm that they're okay with it, because we did have to go through it. So.
Okay, so certainly at the next meeting, we'll have everybody a design estimate before the next meeting, so. Kevin, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to ask, sorry for asking this in this venue, I haven't had a chance to touch base with Lee. I think he met with you on Thursday, is that right?
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
We went through.
And you had to?
What's that?
Sorry, my question was going to be, I just wanted to know if you had a slew of comments on the SD package. I just didn't hear that from Lee or not.
Yeah, we had some comments. It was just some really, like, I didn't have anything big. It was moving some doors around, primarily access to the trailer bays, getting rid of some of we had some big fans in the tipping floor area, which I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. We'll get rid of those. And then a lot of it was just sort of, grammatical stuff in the report itself. Nothing too big. And then we met with the your electrical folks to look at what we need to do to run our pump station off of that same service that is feeding the transfer station.
Yep.
That went fine. And then the was it HBMI? Is that hazardous building materials inspection?
Yep.
They came in, took a bunch of samples. The buildings are new, so we don't really anticipate finding anything too crazy in there, relative to, say, asbestos or PCBs or anything like that. But just have to clear them for demo, so we have to go through the process.
So those comments that you have on the fans and things like that,
Yeah.
those are the things that I want to get dialed in to make sure they have those comments on the design, and then we'll have them kind of reset the estimate. If there's
Okay.
any add pluses or minuses, we'll make sure that the estimate jives.
One of the biggest things that we realized as we were looking at building height is we actually took a trip down to the Fall River landfill. They have a transfer station there that they built about 10 years ago. And just to really, I looked at our biggest machine, which actually just so happens to be their biggest machine that they run down there, and building height. And they're at about 30 feet. We had areas of our building that were in the 26 range. So we need to bring the whole building up, and that actually has a pretty big impact on the estimate.
Correct.
Just because of the additional steel. So that's kind of where we're at relative to that meeting that we had on Friday. Does anybody have any questions on the building? Any of the members have any building questions? Nobody? I think it'd be good to get a vote to move from schematic design into design development, as we are kind of already headed that direction a little bit. We've sort of crossed that bridge a little bit already, so.
Better than having them stop.
Yeah, right. So, if there's no further questions on that, we'd like to get a vote on approving schematic design and moving into design development.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Greg, Nolan. All right. All in favor, Greg?
Yes.
Tom? Yes. Nolan?
Yes.
Ken's no longer here, and I vote yes. All right. You ready to do next on the agenda, schedule review and budget?
Yeah, I can kind of go through those things quickly. The schedule reviews, it's the same baseline schedule we looked at last time, so there's no changes at this point. Other than we did issue the notice to proceed for the office and maintenance with Paige. So that was issued May 15th. They have 365 calendar days. So May 15th of 27 is their completion date. So But other than that, we're on schedule for that project as well as the transfer station to hit that bidding, like I said, by the end of the year. So no major updates on schedule. As far as budget goes, I provided a copy of our payment submission because this is kind of twofold. It shows obviously the budget under scheduled value, and then it'll show everything that's been completed to date. So there's a few numbers in here that are previously expended. So because we kind of came in midstream, what I did was I took Ace's numbers and what he spent to date, and I filled it into our budget so that our numbers are working. So what you see in the previously expended columns are numbers that come from the first phases of design, from the previous OPM, from expenses to date, just to make sure that everything's in there. What you'll see, and you don't see it now under current submission, is every time we have invoices, we'll have those invoices in that current submission line. The reason I don't have them in here now is because I already took everything and dumped it into the previously expended, just to make sure my numbers were jiving. So those invoices we approved tonight are already in the previously expended. So going forward, you'll see a current submission with the footnote at the bottom to what that invoice is being paid for. Then obviously total completed to date, what percentage were complete, and then the balance left to complete. So this will be one of the two budget forms you'll see. The other budget form you'll see will be basically lines 1 through 4. So your number, your vendor name, your line item, your scheduled value, and then the changes for that month with a budget ending number. So this gives you a whole snapshot of everything. And then I have a separate budget, and because we don't have any changes, I didn't put one together. Just didn't want to confuse everybody. But when we have actual changes, you'll see it from a month-to-month basis every time we meet. So what you will notice is because of where our general construction number came in at, if you go down to lines 25 and 26, we have a pretty sizable contingency for this project. So. We're very healthy budget-wise.
Good. Yeah, we get my number differs a little bit, like very little bit. We got to figure out where that discrepancy is.
Yeah.
Something maybe about $10,000. So
that's much closer than that's good.
Yeah, but yeah, I do. There's something. It could be on my end.
Okay.
We've got to figure that out.
So question on the construction contingency, if that'll be for change orders, any owner items, right?
Correct.
And does that something we can vote on, or does that have to go back to?
That's
Change. Do we have to vote on change orders? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I know we do, but does it stop here, or does that got to go beyond us?
That's a good question.
No, because it's all within. As long as we stay within the
the
umbrella
budget.
of the original approval by town, town meeting, I think we're good.
Yeah.
If we go beyond that, then we have to
go back.
Yeah. Which we came in under, so we've got room there. Not that we want to spend it, but it's a little safety net.
Yeah. No, we will not spend all that. I can assure you that. And I just broke that up. I had the total budget of that $817,000. I just took everything that was left
Differential
and put it there. It can go to other lines. Lines can kind of decrease or increase as we go. But right now, I just kind of put it there as a place.
No, we want to keep things as tight as possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So.
Any questions on budget?
I have nothing. No. All right. Anything else to add at all? Any members of the committee have anything to add? Questions, comments, concerns? Steve? Taylor?
No.
Greg?
No.
Tom?
No, sir.
Nolan?
I'm good, thanks.
Dan? Anything to add? Dan's got nothing to add.
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right. All right, let's talk about our next, shuffling papers here. Next meeting, 7/21.
believe so. I don't have it in there, but
Yeah, we haven't.
that works for me.
Okay. Everybody good with July 21st?
Yep.
Yep. Nolan, you good with July 21st?
Yes, that works for me.
Okay, great. All right, that'll be the next tentative meeting. Motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Greg second. Greg?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Nolan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Great.